Hi, in the third part of the Fibaro sensor range, what we're going to be looking at today is the Fibaro Flood Sensor. Now, there's not an awful lot that goes on these boxes. We've been there before. There's not an awful lot in the boxes, to be honest, but let's just unbox them anyway for the sake of them. What does this do? Well, let's first of all open it up and have a look. Again, a new product, never been opened. Again, we can see from the back, this is a Z-Z-Wave product. It gives you very little information on the back, other than the fact that it's 12 to 24 volts DC, and it has a CR123A 3-volt battery. So if we open it up, even without looking at this, I can tell you it's going to be very similar in size, dimensions, etc. to the smoke sensor, but we'll open it up anyway. As said before, exactly right, no real difference. Let's see what else is in the box. Zero. We've got your 3 different warranty manuals in most different languages. Similar kind of thing, although this one does split from the top. What you'll notice again is there's your battery. It's got a what has it got on it? I know for a fact, although I've never used one of these before, it's got a you can buy a separate sensor. So if you wanted to have this, for example, on a countertop, if it was like going behind a washing machine, or you under a sink, for example, you could have this essentially out of harm's way. Fibaro do a little video where they throw this in the water, and it does float. It is waterproof, strangely enough, seeing it's a water sensor. But the way it works is you have 3 pins. Now these are pogo pins, which means that they're spring-loaded, probably copper, maybe brass pins, and that sits on whatever thing that you're wanting to protect against flood. And as soon as water hits it, it will contact these pins together, and then that will register and send it over to your device. Sorry, not your device, your hub, whether it's Home Assistant or whether it's SmartThings or any of the other things on there. Fibaro are such a well-known make for quality control and for their range of products that generally they're pretty well put together little things. What else can I tell you about this? Really, there's not an awful lot. Realistically, it's a contact switch, and when these are contacted, it'll register that you got a flood. It's pretty decent as an early warning device, but other than that, I can't really see much use. As I said, I've got a couple of them only because I've got them part of a deal, and as stated in my other messages, I'm not going to show you how to set these up on something like SmartThings, and I'll show you why in this video, just so that you're aware. Literally, you open up your SmartThings installation, you say add a device, you say add a device manually. For example, the smoke detectors and the flood detectors, be it under home environment, and you can just click flood sensor or smoke sensor. If you've got something like a window sensor, which we'll be looking at, you've got their window sensor, or if it's the motion sensor, you've got the motion sensor. Because these are all approved devices, certainly on SmartThings, you don't need device handlers, you don't need to have any weird and wonderful way of setting it up. It's just 3 presses, it will pair, you put it in there, it's added, and then you can add it to your routines, you can add it to your sensor bank. It's really simple. That's why I've not actually bothered going through it, because there's nothing special in order to do that. And again, I don't need to to have a wet rag on the table to prove that this will make a loud noise. So if you want that kind of video, we can do it, but again, it's kind of just sensationalism to get a response. You know, if you hear this, you got problems. If you hear your smoke alarm, you got problems, unless your wife can't cook or you can't cook, and then you know, it's just, they're just a good early warning system, especially if you're in the house alone at night, or if you're upstairs. You know, and let's say, for example, in this instance, you put your washing machine on overnight. You've got a blockage in your waste pipe. This is at the back of your washing machine, or it's using its external sensor on the back, dropping down to the floor at the back of the washing machine. Your washing machine busts its pipe, starts flooding out all over the floor. This is going to let you know. If, for example, you've got your U-bend under your sink breaks loose, or you've got an outside, for example, in my instance, I've got an outside workshop that I do a lot of my tinkering with, and I did have a small leak on the roof, and I didn't know. I could have had something like this on the work surface, and whenever, of course, it rained and I got there was a leak. Rather than waiting till it might be a week or 2 weeks till I go down there again and finding a big puddle with lots of damage, I would know straight away that I've got a leak. I could go down there if it's a suspected area and catch it straight away and save myself the loss of I don't know, a drill or some tools or something like that. So again, strange enough, may not seem like the most criticalist thing in the world, but there is a use, and it's like anything with smart home technology. You don't always have to find the use that it was intended for, but as long as you can find a use out of it, result. Anyway, there we go, the Fibaro Flood Sensor. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.